My parents raised me on Stravinsky and Ravel on my mother's side and big band jazz on my daddy's side. And that was all working fine for me. As soon as I discovered Buddy Rich, I realized drums were for me.
I must have started playing drums at age 8, something like that. And my father, who is a jazz musician, insisted that I have all the best teachers so I can say that I'm classically trained on the drums, which is a ridiculous statement, but what the hell.
But meanwhile, I got kind of immune to jazz music. The Ravel and the Stravinsky stuck, and it was all going great until Jimi Hendrix came along with that raging guitar, and that was it for trumpets and trombones and all that. It was all about young masculinity and the electric guitar.
It damns all my heavy artillery. Don't care, cause I am the neatest thing in town. Don't care if you even wanna put me down. Don't care if you even wanna.
I played in an art rock group called Curved Air, and then along came punk, which is a whole new hairdo. Louder, faster music for a louder, faster person. Suited me fine to be a punk band. We were a fake punk band because we actually were very proficient on our instruments, and I had played in a prog art band. But we were called the Police. And eventually we conquered the world in our own humble way and played stadiums and had the whole rock and roll experience. And out the other end of it, and all of the classical music went kind of on the side. It was still going around my head that whole time. I've still had Debussy, Ravel, Karl Orff going around in my head. Just not them, but that sound of the orchestral doing really important stuff with orchestras and woodwinds and strings and so on. Always there. And in film world, one day, my first film, Francis Coppola, turns around and says, the score is great. I need strings, and we gotta have some strings. And I go, why sure, of course, strings, you betcha. And so I call up the contractor and say, strings, the director needs strings, give me some strings. He says, well, how many strings? I don't know, how many strings is strings? Strings, I don't know, strings. Francis wants strings, give me some strings. So some strings showed up, and the cool thing was that I had figured out the chords that I had played like this on the piano and like that. I figured out, I had a music guy, an actual musician, look at it and say, well, that's that. And he put the notes and spread them out and voiced them nicely for strings. And the string guys come in, and there's a piece of paper on the stage, and I go and talk to all the musicians, and it's the usual thing. Hey guys, we got this movie, it's kind of like this, it's kind of like that. And you bond with the musicians as you do. There's kind of a lot of them. Usually I get a guitarist session player come in, and you talk. And they're looking at me. And eventually one of them plucks up, Maestro, do you want us to play what's on the chart here or whatever the hell it is you're talking about? Okay, let's just play it down one time, get the vibe. And we play it down one time, they get the vibe. Not only do they get the vibe, but they get it note perfect. Okay, the music's not complicated, it's all football, strings. Wow, you put the stuff on a page and they just play it. A rock band, for all of the joy of playing in a rock band, they got to negotiate for 2 weeks over one 3-minute song. It's kind of A, should we go to D? I don't know, maybe G. We went to G last time, let's go to F sharp minor. I don't know, that sounds, it's a negotiation, you build it. But when you put it on the page, you count them in. That physical relationship with music, where you conceive of it, you think of it, you put it on the page, and turn it over and count them in, and they play it, that's the big breakthrough. And that's, the rich textures of orchestra, the huge variety of sound that they can make, the enormous vocabulary that an orchestra has is all great, but it's the fact that you, in the quiet of your composition moment, can create it and get it just perfect. You put the hairpin here, the tune doesn't go da-da-da-da-da, it goes da-da-da-da-da, and you put the Italian around it, and you can control it, and then under the baton of the likes of Mr. Kaufman, it all comes together, and that is very rewarding.